Welcome to the story world. Title: Time Is Never Come Back. Mohan slumped onto his bed, the glow of his phone illuminating his frustrated face. His history test loomed, a monstrous shadow threatening his weekend plans. He'd promised his friends a thrilling game of cricket, a match they'd been planning for weeks. But the history chapter, thick with dates and battles, felt like an insurmountable mountain. Ugh, I'll study tomorrow, he mumbled, tossing his textbook onto the floor. He picked up his phone, the vibrant screen beckoning him into a world of instant gratification. Hours melted away in a blur of games and social media. Tomorrow arrived, and with it, a renewed sense of urgency. But the mountain hadn't shrunk. It had grown, its slope steeper, its peak more distant. He rushed through his studies, skimming paragraphs, skipping details. The test felt like a blur of unfamiliar names and dates. He left the exam hall with a heavy heart, knowing he hadn't given it his best. The cricket match, once a beacon of fun, was now a distant memory, replaced by the bitter taste of regret. That evening, Mohan's grandfather, a wise old man with twinkling eyes, sat beside him. He didn't lecture, but instead, he told a story. Once upon a time, he began, his voice a gentle rumble, there was a magical river. This river flowed with liquid time. Anyone who dipped their hands in could take as much time as they needed. But there was a catch. Once the time was taken, it could never be returned. Mohan listened, captivated. A young boy, much like you, the grandfather continued, came to the river. He had a big project to finish, a beautiful painting he wanted to create. But he spent his time playing, wasting the precious liquid time. When he finally decided to paint, he found he had only a few drops left. His painting remained unfinished, a constant reminder of his wasted time. The grandfather paused, letting the story sink in. He then pointed to a small, intricately carved wooden clock on the mantelpiece. This clock, he said, reminds us that time is a precious gift. Each tick is a moment, a chance to learn, to grow, to create, to love. Once a moment is gone, it's gone forever. You can't go back and redo it. You can't rewind the clock. Mohan understood. He'd wasted his time, not just on the history test, but on countless other occasions. He'd let distractions steal his precious moments, moments he could never get back. The regret gnawed at him. The next day, Mohan approached his studies with a new perspective. He didn't rush, he didn't procrastinate. He focused, understanding that each minute was a valuable asset. He meticulously studied the history chapter, absorbing the information with a newfound appreciation. He aced the next history test. More importantly, he learned a valuable lesson. He started managing his time better, balancing his studies with his hobbies and friendships. He learned to prioritize, to say no to distractions, and to appreciate the precious gift of time. He even organized a new cricket match with his friends, this time fully prepared and ready to enjoy every moment. As he bowled the ball, feeling the sun on his face and the camaraderie of his friends, he smiled. He had learned that time, once lost, is never regained, but that by valuing it, he could create beautiful and fulfilling memories. And that, he realized, was a treasure far more valuable than any test score. For more videos, please subscribe our channel.